breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Turn on my post.
Breaking. He did it. They are banned from White House. The mainstream media and leftist elites tried destroying President Trump ever since the 2016 election. Liberals attack President Trump with their lies and baseless accusations on a daily basis and come up empty each time. The anti-Trumper failed to accept that Trump beat their liberal queen, Hillary Clinton, even with the possibility of her party indulging in voter fraud. After all, how many World War II veterans and illegal immigrants voted in 2016? I bet you'd be shocked to see that real statistic. The angered liberals fan the flames of irritable discord, but the only thing that ever comes out is reminiscent of irritable bowels. It's about time for the triggered liberals to accept the victory of President Trump, try on a pair of grown-up pants, and move on in an orderly fashion so that Americans can be great together. Responsible voters can tolerate the disturbing liberal bias and petty hatred for Trump, but certain things cannot ever be accepted nor tolerated. We strong Americans cannot ever tolerate or accept anyone placing our great nation's security at risk. Unfortunately, there have been leaks in the White House releasing pertinent information to the public for the past several months. Just last year, reality Lee winner, 25, was arrested and charged with leaking classified information to a news outlet. Before that treasonous incident, there was Deputy National Security Advisor Diana Habib Powell responsible for leaking derogatory information. Those leaks contained information concerning Trump and were sent to the left-leaning media outlets over the last several months. That's all about to end. Trump has a plan to combat information leaks. He has a plan to protect his administration from the Obama holdovers sweating bullets over the fact that he's holding steady to his promises and making America great again. He's making the previous two-term president seem like he wasn't ever in office. President Trump has sternly combated the left for the past year on a daily basis. The left keeps trying to dismantle the administration based on absurd claims of obstruction and Russian collusion. The anti-Americans, still fuming over the fact their socialist plans to destroy the country have failed, are doing what they can to divide the nation further. It's a case of nevertheless they're persisting, and they're the only sign of obstruction we've seen in ages and miles. While Trump and his trusted team do their best to combat these liberal foes, there are those masquerading as a friend to the conservative cause when in fact, they are nothing but charlatans hiding in plain sight just waiting to sabotage our president, but we won't tolerate any of it. Trump is stomping through the neighborhood and taking names. One of those wolves in sheep clothing is former chief strategist Steve Bannon. He slammed President Trump and his family in a new tabloid book titled Fire and Fury, Inside the Trump White House, penned by Michael Wolff. It was reported that Wolff had unfettered access to the Oval Office in an arrangement that New York Daily News reported Wolff as being blessed by the Trump administration. Those good vibes are over. Trump and his family have read what was written in this book and they're not having it. They prompted the administration to ban personal cell phones in the West Wing to squash further leaks and future scandals. Will people try to sneak their phone in anyway? Probably, but if that ever happens, then you know for a fact Trump will break out his classic line "You're fired," and there might be some serious legal repercussions for breaking a White House rule. Here's more from Daily Wire. The Trump White House is cracking down on employees who use their personal phones while at work in the West Wing. Under a new directive, issued by Chief of Staff John Kelly, that cites security concerns with non-government-issued cellular devices, staff has to ditch their smartphone, though the president, who uses his own phone to engage in social media smackdowns, appears to be exempt from the rule. Staff aren't happy about the move. They say the government-issued phones are outdated and lack the capacity to text, which hinders communication between members of the president's senior team. The phones also can't be used to make personal calls, so a White House staffer on shift isn't able to communicate with friends or family who doesn't work in the White House. But in light of recent events, and in light of the Fire and Fury book due to hit stores, the White House is more concerned than ever about leaks from within the administration, and, aides say, With everyone using at least two separate devices, one for work and one for home, the White House wireless network has become hopelessly overloaded. Even guests of the White House must now surrender their personal devices before attending any official meetings to keep things in order. The security and integrity of the technology systems at the White House is a top priority for the Trump administration, and therefore starting next week the use of all personal devices for both guests and staff will no longer be allowed in the West Wing, the press secretary's office said in a statement Thursday. Staff will be able to conduct business on their government-issued devices and continue working hard on behalf of the American people. This is a great idea which should have been done sooner considering how erratic the left has become over the last year. Liberals who dislike Trump will look for anything to make his life miserable. Leftist anti-Trumpers will continue passing their misery upon others until there are strict parameters from which those who cause said misery are blocked and banned. The President of the United States should trust those around him, but that's only possible if those around him support him. When the President has trustworthy people around him, then good things happen. Anyone who does wrong in the White House is doing wrong by every American. It's very sad that a majority of leftists fails to think that way. The constant repetitive triggering of their meltdowns is apparent that they have not mentally evolved, nor are they working hard to do good by our great country. The left appears to be more concerned with their absurd agenda and blind hatred for Trump, and it's thwarting their ability to care about their fellow Americans and national security. Maybe the block of cell phones can stop the leaks. If not, then it will be much easier to trace the leaker.